Have you ever seen a picture of a poorly drawn monkey and thought, yeah, I'd pay $1 million for that? No? What if I told you that you technically wouldn't own that picture and would really just own a link to it? Sounds like too good a deal to pass up, right? Well, somehow there are people out there doing just this. NFTs have had an insane rise in popularity, going from a basically unknown aspect of crypto culture to a phenomenon in just a few short years. Seemingly coming out of nowhere, NFTs continue to dominate internet discourse. Much of the discussion surrounding NFTs is negative. Many see them as scams or some elaborate way to launder money. However, what most people know about NFTs is only the surface level. Behind all of the monkey drawings, there is a much more interesting technology. Before we do any deep diving into NFTs, we need to first clearly define what they are. The term NFT is an acronym that stands for non-fungible token. NFTs are basically the opposite of traditional cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum. If you have a Bitcoin, you don't have one specific Bitcoin. The individual Bitcoin you own is completely irrelevant because they are all the exact same thing. There is no distinction between specific coins. This means that they are fungible. NFTs, as the acronym implies, are non-fungible. This means that they have distinct differences and are not interchangeable. So the specific NFT you have is very important for its value. NFTs are stored in a blockchain, such as the Ethereum blockchain. They are then associated with a smart contract. A smart contract allows for an NFT to be traded with safely between two untrusted parties. If you want to sell your NFT for 100 Ethereum and someone else agrees to buy it for that price, the smart contract makes the trade happen. There are many things that can be associated with an NFT. Most popularly, we see them associated with pictures or GIFs, but they can be connected to almost anything. There are NFTs of videos, songs, or even items in blockchain-based video games. One big issue with NFTs is that the actual contents of an NFT isn't typically stored on the blockchain. The size of images, videos, and music files are too large to be written directly onto the blockchain, so instead they are stored somewhere else and the actual NFT points to the location of that file. NFTs do not necessarily pass any legal ownership when they are bought or sold. If you buy an artwork as an NFT, you don't actually own the rights to the artwork. It just represents that you own the contract to that specific file. The original owner of that NFT could just mint more if they really wanted to, although that isn't done often. Some NFTs do transfer ownership or physical goods to an individual. However, this is all done outside the constraints of the blockchain. The NFT doesn't actually have any legal precedence, although that could change if countries decide to pass laws on it. The ideas that NFTs encompass have existed even before the first NFT was ever minted. Colored coins is a concept dating back to 2012 and is often seen as the precursor for NFTs. Colored coins originated on the Bitcoin blockchain as a way to add more functionality to it. The term colored coins refers to marking a transaction of a small amount of satoshis, the smallest size that a Bitcoin can be broken down into. These transactions would have no real monetary value, but the marking would indicate that they represented something outside the value of the satoshis themselves. With special wallets, you would be able to identify what the markings represented. The concept of using blockchain technology to transfer ownership was an idea with massive potential. Because of this, many wanted to perfect it and capitalize on it. At the time, it was known as Bitcoin 2.0 because it would expand the capabilities of the blockchain so much. As this idea was expanded on, we began to see NFTs more closely resemble the ones that we see today. In May of 2014, the first NFT was created by Kevin McCoy and Anil Dash. McCoy's wife created a piece of digital art that was a short video clip. McCoy registered it on the Namecoin blockchain and sold it to Anil Dash for $4. In 2015, the idea of NFTs continued to grow. Entire projects were beginning to launch surrounding the concept, similarly to what we see today. These projects involved buying virtual land and collecting virtual trading cards. When we get into 2017, we start to really see NFTs morph into what they are today. This year would see the release of the CryptoPunks NFT collection. This collection included 10,000 algorithmically generated characters. This made each CryptoPunk unique and have a different degree of rarity. This was the first project to use this sort of generated art and would pave the way for many projects in the future. Towards the end of 2017, we would see the introduction of the first blockchain-based game, CryptoKitties. This game is based on the Ethereum blockchain and allows you to purchase virtual cats that are NFTs. These cats all have unique characteristics similar to that of the CryptoPunks. The main game aspect of CryptoKitties lies in the ability to breed any cats that you own. These cats then produce a new NFT cat that has traits passed down by its two parents. This allows people to actually earn money off their NFTs by breeding more and then selling them. While this game is very basic, it showed that there was room to do more interesting things with NFTs. 2017 would also see ERC 721 proposed and later be adopted in 2018. ERC 721 is a standard for NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain. This meant that there was now a recommended way to make NFTs on Ethereum. The introduction of the standard showed just how popular NFTs were starting to get. The next few years would see many of the NFT ideas laid out in 2017 continue to be expanded on. The blockchain game Axie Infinity was created in 2018. It allowed collecting and breeding of NFTs similar to that of CryptoKitties. However, it enhanced this idea by allowing you to use your NFTs in real gameplay, like turn-based battles. 2018 would also see major strides in the development of NFT marketplaces. The largest NFT marketplace, OpenSea, launched as an alpha in December of 2017, but would really start to get off the ground the following year. The introduction of OpenSea and other NFT marketplaces allowed for a much easier way to buy and sell NFTs, making them more accessible for the average person. This leads us into what is truly the modern era for NFTs. As the technology's popularity grew, many more developers attempted to use it in new and interesting ways. One of the largest defining aspects for NFTs recently has been the rise of metaverse-style games. Metaverse games are a style of online video game that focuses on social interaction. The movie Ready Player One is one of the more popular examples of what a metaverse could look like. While metaverse-style games have been around since the 90s, they have significantly risen in prominence in the 2020s. This is due to the introduction of blockchain-based metaverse games. One of the earliest and most popular blockchain-based metaverse games is Decentraland. While in development since 2015, it was officially released to the public in 2020. Decentraland has its own cryptocurrency Mana that is built on top of the Ethereum blockchain. This currency allows you to buy or sell in-game pieces of land and other items as NFTs. Decentraland has become so popular that its currency actually has a total market cap of several $billion, making it one of the largest cryptocurrencies in 2022. Other metaverse-based projects such as The Sandbox have also achieved similar levels of success. The metaverse space has also famously attracted Facebook. In late 2021, Facebook announced that they would start to put most of their efforts towards creating a metaverse. They even went as far as to rebrand the entire company from Facebook to Meta. We have yet to see what exactly the Facebook metaverse will entail, but what we do know is that it will support NFTs. While the metaverse and blockchain gaming side of NFTs has grown massively, so has the more traditional NFT space. CryptoPunks would pioneer the algorithmically generated NFTs, and many projects would look to replicate its success. The most prominent project being Bored Ape Yacht Club. Bored Apes are some of the most popular and infamous NFTs that currently exist. The Bored Ape Yacht Club consists of 10,000 unique generated NFTs. These NFTs aren't just for show though, they also act as a membership card. This membership allows owners into online exclusive clubs and real-world events. The creators of Bored Apes also mentioned that owners would have complete intellectual rights of the NFTs that they own. The Bored Ape Yacht Club has been extremely successful with the most expensive NFTs of the collection selling for millions of dollars. This has led the Bored Ape brand to be expanded upon. They have created new NFT projects and purchased existing ones, such as the previously mentioned CryptoPunks. On top of that, they have created their own cryptocurrency called ApeCoin. They also recently raised $450 million to help them build their own NFT metaverse. NFTs have seen some massive growth recently, and this has caused many brands to jump on the hype as well. Brands like Lamborghini, Coca-Cola, and Nike have all created their own NFTs. On top of that, many other companies are purchasing real estate in different metaverses in order to have a presence there as well. We've seen how NFTs have started and what they have become. It's clear that they have evolved a lot since their inception around a decade ago. So what does the future have in store for non-fungible tokens? One of the most important things to remember is that NFTs can be used to represent anything on the blockchain. While we often see them as 2D JPEGs of monkeys or pixel art, they can really convey ownership of anything. A lot of the untapped potential of NFTs lies in using them to verify ownership of real-world items. Imagine having an NFT tied to a highly collectible item, such as an expensive watch. When you purchase a watch, you receive an NFT alongside it. It gives you an easy and quick way to prove that the watch you bought is authentic. Then when you sell it to someone else, the NFT can be transferred over to them. On top of providing a way to prove authenticity, NFTs can also give more functionality to real-world items. Imagine buying a new pair of shoes and with them you get an NFT. That NFT could give you a virtual pair of the same shoes you just bought, allowing you to use them in both the metaverse and the real world. The idea of the metaverse will almost certainly continue to play an important role in the NFT space. As it stands now, a true metaverse hasn't been created. There are tons of games claiming to be the next big metaverse experience, but none of them really live up to expectations. As time goes on, we'll see metaverse projects develop and clear winners will be decided in the space. With the rise of the metaverse, there will also be an increase in NFTs all across the gaming industry. Today, games like Fortnite allow users to purchase items using an in-game currency, so it wouldn't be that big of a stretch to make these items NFTs and provide additional functionality to them. This could include allowing them to be used in other games that support NFTs, as well as letting them be bought and sold between players. Most NFT and blockchain-based games today just aren't that fun. They may have some redeeming qualities, but they always feel feel like they are more focused on the technology rather than actually making a good game. Future blockchain games need to focus on being a good game first and using the technology to add to the experience. Large gaming companies like Square Enix have mentioned that they will be entering into the space, so time will tell if they are looking for a quick cash grab or if they actually want to make something interesting. The Bored Apes and CryptoPunks of today will likely survive into the future as well. Today they are the most recognizable type of NFTs, but that will probably change as time goes on. NFTs that offer the most functionality and usefulness will likely prevail as the most prominent ones. The real question here isn't if NFTs will be around in the future, but what forms they will take. The way they are perceived will likely change dramatically. Right now, NFTs are mostly seen as a joke. Paying millions of dollars for a picture that's stored online is kind of crazy. In reality, though, that's only the start of what this technology will become. The last decade for NFTs has been massive. They started out as just an idea and have become everything that they are today. Even just a few years ago, most were completely unaware of their existence. So just imagine what the next 10 years could have in store for this technology.